And welcome back, everyone, to the Resurrection series. From Jakuchi, we have the question of what is the Resurrection of Goku? Goku, I think, because he's based off Sun Wukong, I think it's very easy to kind of depict a resurrection for Goku. His initial Hollow Form, and again, we'd probably look at him more than likely as a Vastolores type character, or at minimum a high level Juhas. But I think you would look at him as a Vassalor, a humanoid type hollow. He would mirror Son Goku himself. An ape-like humanoid with a tail. His original hollow form, and that would be his original hollow form. Basically, probably looking something like Infernape minus the fire on his head, something like that. Although he probably would stand upright a lot of the time. In terms of like the release of his Zanpakuto, it could be punch, grapple, pound, something along those lines. And its name would be Gran Simu, or Great Ape. Now, what would the hollow mask for Goku look like, though, as an Arrancar? That, I think, is interesting. Because there's not a lot about Goku's design that lends itself to a really strong hollow mask. But I could see an argument to be made that he'd be, because we know there are hollows that are unique. His mask, if you want to call it that, would actually be a tail that wraps around his waist. And maybe you could even make the argument it's so long that it actually wraps around his neck and looks like a collar. And that's how he keeps it out of the way a lot of time. And then he releases it, basically undoes his tail and releases his Zanpakuto. In his release state, he would regain pretty much a lot of it, like his ape-like traits. He'd gain fur. His tail would be free. He probably has some masked markings, or probably more like fur. He basically would look like a hollified version of Super Saiyan 4. That would be my guess here. And he'd have all the standard abilities a Hollow would have. Super speed, the ability to fire a Sarah, which works as a Ki Blast here. I don't really see Goku. This is one of those cases where the Resurrection, I don't think, really gives him anything unique. The only thing you could maybe give some leeway to, you could maybe make an argument for, is the idea that maybe he can push his transformations even further beyond. It's not through rage, but through sheer willpower or whatever. If he's getting pushed to his edge, he kind of breaks his limits and goes even further. You could make maybe something like that. Otherwise, though, I don't see much in the way of a resurrection for Goku. It'd be a pretty simple resurrection, I think. But that's just my opinion. It's a short video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.